Continental Circus season is in full swing, with clowning chimps taking over the show in Berlin's Deutschland Hall. Musical monkey shines and canine capers keep the show a dizzy whirl of activity. In Moscow, another super sensational animal act featuring jungle killers who defy the cat's most basic instincts. Aqua tigers in an incredible episode.
Hello everybody. So Midwest League match tonight against Pearl Smith, who won their first Midwest League game. I am 3-2 and really can't afford to lose this game, otherwise I'm probably not making the playoffs. So we will see how things go. Alright, opening hands is kind of blah. Don't even know what the headline is. I guess Truman. I really do not like this hand at all. Well, alright, ops are not awful, but I hate getting rid of the threat of Truman. But I think that has to be my headline. Okay, so Pearl. It's much better as the Soviets. I think for somewhat, I mean, 62 played games is nothing to scoff at, but I think most players are better as the Soviets to start. Oh, well, there goes Europe scoring.
The challenge of the 20th century is the challenge of human relations and not of the impersonal, natural forces.
Alright, do we have the Iran coup or do we have something else? We have CIA. Alright, and what we got? Pearl has some ops. My goodness. That's a lot of ops. Okay, no scoring. Use this to spread out of... Actually, let's go into Pakistan. I have Indo-Pak. And it'll let me get into India. Unless that happens. Alright, cool. Well, we're gonna coup it back.
In May 1955, representatives from 7 Eastern European nations gathered in Warsaw.
And Pearl's gonna get a nice big coup on Iran with one of those 4-ups.
The year's main event would establish Soviet control of the region and challenge the alliance of capitalist nations in the West. The United States and Western Europe had previously signed the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, and now the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe were signing the Warsaw Pact.
So assuming this is a big coup, I'm gonna go to space, I think. Oh! Unless that happens. Okay. That was unfortunate. Okay, well, I'm not taking Korea. And I know Pearl doesn't have any scorings. So we're going to space Fidel here. Nice. I think we'll end up holding De Gaulle. Actually, holding Indo-Pak makes sense as well. Could get Milops next turn. Alright, I'm good to see. Glad to see that being used. Not gonna allow the flip. Alright, so Pearl's holding Korean War and Marshall. So probably be Korean War. Okay. I think we'll play Interpack here. Alright, we get Vietnam, but no other access cards. Well, Nasser's an access card. That worries me a little bit, not seeing the D cards. Now I have to hold the Gaul for blockade. There's lots of good stuff 5-year plan could hit. So we're going to go with 5-year plan. Captured Nazi. No, Marshall Plan. That's a good thing.
Our policy is directed not against any country or doctrine, but against hunger, poverty, desperation, and chaos. Its purpose should be the revival of a working economy in the world, so as to permit the emergence of political and social conditions in which free institutions can exist. Such a system, I am convinced, must not be on a piecemeal basis, as various crises
So we have to hold the
develop.
Gaul until we've seen
Any
blockade.
assistance that this government may render in the future should provide a cure rather than a
Towards the
mere
end.
palliative. Any government that is willing to assist in the task of recovery
Oh
will
my.
find full cooperation,
been
I am
rough.
sure, on the part of the United States government. Any government which maneuvers to block the recovery of other countries cannot expect help from us.
Wish I had a clean 3 up. Oh, you know what? No, I don't need to fill Libya right now. Okay, let's do that. Worried about D-stall or D-call popping out. Yeah, still need to hold this, play this last. Hopefully Middle East gets scored and I can play Nasser without guilt. Yep, I'm worried about that. So if Pearl doesn't take Algeria, I'm stepping in there. Okay, scoring Asia. So Cambridge, I think I'll go Saharan states in Libya. Okay. Okay, giving Vietnam an AR early now that Asia's scored. If I needed to coup.
Our efforts are made in the belief that men and nations can cooperate, and that there are
Nice.
no international problems
Do not have to give it early.
of goodwill cannot solve or adjust.
This kind of thing is almost a daily
Let's
occurrence in
get
Egypt these days,
out
a scene that typifies the national
Pakistan.
rejoicing over the so-called liberation. Colonel Nasser, Egyptian leader and hero of the moment, is mobbed as he tries to make his way through Port Said. The occasion? Well, that was simply to hoist the Egyptian flag over the former Navy house. Colonel Nasser had decided to do that in person.
Will India give me domination? It will. It's annoying. Haven't seen socialist yet. I have to call though. I hope it's socialist or Suez. Oh yeah, let's buff up France. All right. So, Pro-Gatti style, socialist, Romanian, and UN intervention. So I redrew Europe, EU, and Cambridge. This is really annoying because if I do blockade, Pearl redrew Purge. That would be a bad thing to headline. To headline Europe, but this is most likely socialist. Special relationship doesn't give me much. In EU, makes Europe pretty weak, but it's one of my few clean ops cards. Okay, I think I'm gonna go blockade and take the chance on no purge. Okay, good.
Still living under blockade conditions, Berliners feel more results in the deadlock in the form of cut down public transport. Streetcars are packed literally to the doors, while the normal supply routes for food and fuel remain idle and deserted.
Actually, I was gonna dump De Gaulle, but I think I'm gonna dump Suez. So once I score Europe, De Gaulle's not that big a deal. To redraw. It's a good coup. Yeah, Mexico's pretty important now. China. Alright,
Our
well,
efforts are made in the belief that men and nations can cooperate.
let's do some
And
realigning.
that there are no international problems which men of
It's good.
goodwill cannot solve or adjust.
Sobre la cuestión acerca
This
de
has got to be
si
peace style.
la lucha armada es el único camino para la liberación, lo que puedo responder es que, por lo menos en las condiciones de nuestro país, no había otro camino.
So I want to square Europe, but I might need to react to D-style. Depending on where Pearl puts this. There it is. Yeah, I was a little worried about Algeria there. Okay, UNing what's defectors, alright. Score Europe. I might have actually held on to UN there. I mean, VP track doesn't look great for Pearl, but Africa and South America are shaping up nicely.
Le rassemblement du peuple français. Qui, dans le cadre des lois, va promouvoir et faire triompher l'immense effort du salut commun et la réforme profonde de l'État. Il est temps que dans cet accord des actes et des volontés, la République française, de noyautage en noyautage d'une certaine dictature.
Alright, where to put these Cambridge ops? Could use something in Guatemala to protect Mexico from a coup.
Dans l'anarchie jusqu'à
5-year plan. Is this Asia? That would be very disappointing. At least. Alright. Disappointing, but not... Yeah, it's disappointing. Alright, so we're definitely doing this. Might as well pump up some Southeast Asian countries. Okay. Alright, this takes a little thought. I don't like giving nuke subs in the headline. I like it to be a little more of a surprise. Puppets isn't super helpful. I guess it could cause some havoc though. It's probably going to be nuke subs. I'm not seeing any better options here. Yeah, nuke subs it is. Alright, get flower power. So we're gonna coup with this. Use this last. Oh boy. Alright, well, it's gonna coup in Africa anyway. Does Pearl have Africa? Not averse to using the China card to try to get into South America.
this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
Alright. The one into France bothers me, but I need to nullify Africa.
Dabei stellt sich erstens die Frage, würden unsere Verbündeten, würden unsere atlantischen und westeuropäischen Freunde die Bundesrepublik unterstützen, wenn nach dem etwaigen Scheitern dieser Verträge ein neuer Versuch unternommen würde? Meine Antwort: Die NATO und die anderen westlichen Gemeinschaften haben sich so eindeutig für die Verträge ausgesprochen, dass keine der westlichen Regierungen in naher Zukunft ihre Unterstützung für eine Alternativpolitik bieten könnte. Zweitens,
Pearl doesn't flip. I'll overprotect. Oh, please give me South America. Oh, sweet. Day in the morning. That's not going to be something fun for Pearl to see. That was huge. Alright, well now I don't have to waste a coup. And South America. Alright, need to stop the double space. Or not. Okay, so I think taking France is important to set up the realigns again. Oh, that's nice. What card is Pearl holding? Those were some awful cards. Speaking of not awful cards, that was a horrible transition, but this is the opposite of a horrible hand. This is a grain sales headline. Man. Why do I always get hands like this? Oh. Well. I think we event that. Otherwise, Pearl's just gonna go into Mexico and be able to take it. Yeah, we're gonna event this.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Yikes. Okay. So... I think we need to go heavy on realigns here. And hope for better rolls than these. Ah! Oh, God. I'm not even going to look back at those. That was awful. That was really bad. I'm starting to think in my head what will be my secondary target. Will I go for Algeria or will I go for Panama? Is that active? I think it is. No, it's not. Alright, we're going for it again. God dang it. Oh, thank goodness. Alright, I think Panama. Still a lot of scorings to come. Okay. Blocking the domination. I need Millips anyway. But Pearl's trying to get to Cuba. So maybe I do this. Maybe I don't do that. Maybe I just take Mexico. Then coup Nicaragua. Oh, I can get domination back and take Mexico. Yeah, let's do this. Who would like to event the Pope? force all gone. Europe's decently weak. Alright, there's my coup targets. About to see Che.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal.
Seems kind of like a weak move without some sort of threat elsewhere.
And returning him safely to the earth.
But Pearl might just be short on ops. Well, that's a decently high op card. Alright, well, Fidel's out there. I'm not going to take Cuba. Let's threaten to take Korea.
Нам посмеетесь, когда мы, знаете, обгоним вас и скажем: господа капиталисты, до свидания, наш поезд сюда идет. Пожалуйста, за нами.
Alright, we'll take this. Actually, we don't need to take it. Let's do this. Yeah, good with that. Now I regret not taking that. I think I have to do how I learned to protect Africa, but then that lets Pearl take Korea. There's Fidel. Oh boy. That's rough. We're gonna take that back. Pearl's had some awful coups this game. See if that gets flipped. Comic-Con's out there. Arms Race is out there. Purge is out there. Not gonna flip it with Brush War. Could use the China card. And we'll use the China card. Let's take Korea. Okay. That means we'll overprotect. Start pushing for Japan. Okay, like to see that. Well, Space Che. I like to see that as well. Oh. No, I'm changing my mind on using this. Alright, I want to do Event the Pope, but we're doing this. Alright, so we still have Gunman, Portuguese, South African Liberation, and Comic-Con out there for the Soviets. Panama is the only US card out there. Central and Africa scoring. Then Indo-Pac, Olympic Games, One Small Step, Brush War, Arms Race, and Purge. There is Gunman. Nice to see that evented. Oh, that's fair. I was probably going to put puppets there. No, not yet. I think we're just cool with puppets. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, I do have to respond to that.
Our goal is not the victory of might, but the vindication of right. Not peace at the expense of freedom, but both peace and freedom.
That game?
Here in this
Oh, no,
hemisphere,
it's only 4.
and we hope around the world. God willing, that goal will be achieved.
Alright, and then we'll do OAS to do that. Alright, we get Central, Pearl got Liberation. Nuke test ban would win me the game, though. That would be an interesting way to win. Alright, let's think this through. Of course, Pearl is Brush War. I feel like Liberation, knowing I have Central, is probably the more likely headline, though. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for it. Alright, just to clarify. DEFCON level, -2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Alright. Win with nuclear test ban. I don't know if I've done that before. Alright, that was a much needed win. Alright, so don't have any individual games scheduled anytime soon, but do have our game against Team New York coming up next Wednesday, so hope to see you there. Have a good night.